Well, welcome back. Now, the Alumni Association of Guindy College of Engineering, Anna University, has opposed the construction of a 10-storied building near the college. The GCE maintains that the building is a heritage building and came up in the year 1794. Now, the Alumni Association, in a representation to the CMDA, had said that the 10-storied building being constructed by the University of Madras would hide the public from building from public view. Now, the association urged that the CMDA should take steps to protect the heritage building. The association also claimed that the tall building might come in the way of air traffic towards and from Meenambakkam. Well, speaking of heritage building, let's take a quick look at some buildings from Chennai who actually weathered the storm in proverbial terms and continue to stand, with efforts from Chennaites themselves to help them stand and in restoration as well. First up, it's the Royapuram railway station, built in 1856 by the then Madras Railway Company. It was the first station that initiated railway services in south of India. Now, the problem was, of course, badly worn out tiles, musty corridors, peeled plaster on the walls, exposing the handmade yet strong bricks of yesteryear, and worn out door frames characterizing the old buildings that are virtually neglected now. Inadequate lighting was another issue. When contacted, the divisional railway manager M.S. Jayant said that the funds would be provided soon enough to enhance passenger amenities in line with increasing in train traffic. Well, Victoria Hall was another heritage building. It is being restored by the Chennai Corporation in association with the ASI, the INTAC and the School of Architecture of Anna University. Well, in the 1990s, the High Court stayed the demolition of the building. In order to maintain this building, additional structures would be built, and this would retain the same facade and height of the earlier building, ensuring uniformity. And moving on to the Bharat Insurance building, the red structure that you cannot miss in the busy Anna Salai, quiet amidst all the commercial bustle around it, had been on the brink of being pulled down. But in 2009, the Madras High Court ordered the formation of a conservation committee to handle protection of other heritage structures. The Heritage Committee said in its report to the High Court that the building should be preserved, reiterating its heritage value. And finally, the Queen Mary's College, due to the dilapidated condition of the building, officials had decided to demolish it. Anguished students past and present staged a protest, and the college still stands in its traditional form after Madras High Court stayed the demolition order. And of course, the Senate House, to restore the Senate House, built in 1873, its original character and architectural beauty according to internationally accepted principles of conservation, and university had constituted a committee of experts comprising of conservation architects, engineers and craftspersons. Well, of course, to delve deeper into this one issue, and of course, in engaging the people who have raised this very critical question about the heritage building at the GCE, the building which is reportedly over 200 years old, over 2 centuries old. Of course, joining us right now live from our Hindu studios is Professor R. Ramaprabhu, the former Dean of Guindy College of Engineering. And of course, joining us will also be Mr. Devasahayam. He's of course, he's a member of the monitoring committee of CMDA. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. My first question to you, Professor. Again, claims have been raised regarding about how this 10-story structure will really influence the heritage building that we're discussing here, the building of the Guindy College of Engineering. Can you give us your perspective to this one development here?
You see, I am not aware of any such development as on date, but you will have to ask this to the university authorities. But having said that, I can only say that the College of Engineering Guindy has been listed by the Government of India as a heritage building. So, the moment it is any building for that matter is listed as a heritage building, the government agencies which are responsible for giving final approvals will definitely take note of the heritage aspect, and they will take care of all the aspects to see that the heritage of the building is in no way affected.
Right, absolutely. Now, hold a thought there, Mr. Ramaprabhu, Professor Ramaprabhu. We'll come back to you in just a bit. Now, moving on to Mr. Devasahayam, I understand that you're a part of the monitoring committee of the CMDA, and you have been actively engaged in many such projects involving the safety and restoration of these heritage buildings. What is your view? What is your take on this one report that we're hearing at this point, that a 10-story structure might be built right in front of the Guindy College of Engineering?
So, see, there are 2 dimensions to it. One is the heritage, the other is the academic ambience. You know, I was part of academic ambience. Yeah, I was part of this, in 2003, when there was an effort to locate the secretariat of the Marina, Queen Mary's College. we opposed it, civil society, and stopped it there. Then it was shifted to the Anna University campus. There also, precisely because it was going to affect the academic ambience, we protested and effectively stopped. Now, 10-story building doesn't become part of an academic ambience. And that is an important point that needs to be kept in mind when locating. One building comes, then there will be a row of 10-story, 20-story buildings.
Right,
After
Mr.
that, it will be like Manhattan, not like the Anna University or a university ambience.
Right. Mr. Devasahayam, now you're citing the educational angle to it, that it doesn't quite gel well with the architecture of Anna University as a whole. But strictly talking in terms of this one building here, the building which is over 2 centuries old at the Guindy College of Engineering. Now, with that in mind, how critical is it to perhaps ensure that this building is not only preserved, but so are the areas which are right in the proximity of this one college? How important is it for the conservation of heritage of not only the college, but also of Chennai?
It's not only the Guindy College of Engineering. Guindy College of Engineering is certainly a very old heritage site. There are many other heritage sites. There have been a lot of reports about the Chennai Metro trying to sort of, cut across many heritage buildings and demolish them. See, a city is just not buildings or infrastructure or roads. It is also an ambience and heritage and kind of tradition. Otherwise, for a human being, life becomes meaningless. So that must be kept in mind by the planners and policymakers.
Right, Mr. Devasayam. We'll come back to you in just a bit with a couple more questions. Professor Ramaprabhu, now, interesting points being raised there that a 10-story structure is not quite in coherence with the rest of the architecture around in the area in Anna University. What do you have to say to that? Does that only add to your claims that perhaps a 10-story structure should not be allowed to maintain the sanctity of this heritage building here?
Yeah, I'll give you some inputs onto this. Like in the sense, when I was the dean, there were a couple of proposals put forth for building hostels. And even at that point of the time, the CMDA approving authorities came to us and said that more than 4 floors will not be possible for approval, and also it will also be interfering in the flight path because the airport is nearby. So, as I was telling you in the first place, the government authorities will definitely put their foot down if any of such moves are taken place. But I would suggest that the heritage has to be maintained in any cost. Because even if you see Western countries in Europe and all that, the overall development is taking place, keeping in place the heritage, the ambience.
Exactly, sir. So, right, and
this,
a relevant point being made there. Right.
Everyone is well aware of that.
Right. So, a relevant point being made there that heritage needs to be protected. But talking about this current situation about the College of Engineering, of course, we're getting reports that the Alumni Association has sent a written representation to the CMDA. Now, if the situation were to develop further, where the CMDA comes out with a response which is not in coherence with the response that you might be looking for, which is, of course, conservation of heritage, are we looking at a situation where perhaps even the faculty members can join in the protests and perhaps protest against the destruction of heritage?
Yeah, you see, let us not go that far, because as I told you in the beginning, the government authorities, once a building is listed as a heritage, will take care of all the aspects. In totality, they will look into all the aspects and see that the heritage, that is the bottom line, the heritage is not disturbed. So why to draw conclusions well before anything is already in the plate?
Right, Mr. Ramaprabhu, we'll come back to you in just a bit. Mr. Devasahayam, coming back to you at this point again, we're running out of time here. If you can also give us a final picture. This is, as I said initially, this is not the first time that you would be fighting or advocating rather for conservation of heritage. Now, looking back at the recent past where you have actually contributed very constructively, looking back at that, how has the response of the authorities been with regard to sensitive issues such as conservation of these really landmarks which have been in existence for over 2 centuries now?
See, fortunately, CMDA under the orders of the High Court has come out with a list of heritage buildings. Now CMDA is more responsive than it was earlier. But preservation does not just mean keeping the buildings as they are and then hide it from the public view by building taller buildings all around the place. Conservation should be looked at in a holistic manner, not only preserve the building and preserve the ambience of the building also. I think CMDA should take note of that and take decision accordingly.
Right. Mr. Devasahayam, just a final question for you right now. Of course, you mentioned it's very important to save the heritage and, of course, the ambience of the whole building. But moving forward, looking forward from this point on, what kind of legal rights and authorities does a heritage building enjoy? What kind of legal obligations will the CMDA be liable for if in case such a building were to crop up? And in order to defend this heritage building, again, what are the legal options right now?
Unfortunately, legally they are not strong because we have not really enacted a proper heritage law, keeping in mind all the different dimensions. But certainly CMDA can sort of bring forth the other regulatory features and restrain from this kind of building. Yes, that's possible.
Right, Mr. Devasahayam. Professor Ramaprabhu, I'm coming back to you again for the last couple of questions here. We're running out of time. Now, Mr. Devasahayam made a very critical remark there that legally the position does not look very strong. So in that context, how do you plan to take this forward? Of course, Alumni Association has already taken up the issue with the CMDA. Of course, there is a sense of assurance that the CMDA has been responsive. But of course, this is a 2-century-old building that we're talking about here. How do you plan on taking this forward?
See, it is for the Alumni Association to represent to the CMDA to see that their laws are strengthened so that they have the necessary teeth to see that the heritage ambience is preserved. I am sure that won't take much time, and as I said, let us not come to any conclusion right at the start of the whole thing. But for all that, Madras University may even plan for a 4-story building. We don't know. We will have to ask the Madras University authorities regarding this.
Right, Professor. Thanks a lot for joining us and for sharing with us your views. Mr. Devasahayam as well, thanks a lot for joining us over your phone line, spending your time with us to give us all that perspective. The legal angle, of course, your history. You've been involved in a lot of such projects. Thanks a lot, gentlemen, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you. Now, moving on, it's time now to slip into a small break. We'll, of course, come back on the other side with lots more news and updates. Keep watching.